Uche was the only child of her parents. Born and raised in a small village in Anambra State, life was not easy for him and his family. His parents were poor farmers who worked from morning till night, struggling to put food on the table. During the rainy season, they planted yams, cassava, and maize, hoping for a good harvest. But sometimes, the rains were too heavy, washing away their crops. Other times, the sun was too hot, drying up the little they had planted. Despite their struggles, Uche's parents had big dreams for him. They wanted him to have a better life, one where he would not have to suffer the way they did. They believed that education was the key, but sending him to school was not easy. Many times, Uche went to school barefoot, wearing tall clothes. His mother would manage to give him a small bowl of garri and groundnut to take along. And when there was no money, he would go to school hungry. As Uche grew older, he understood his parents' struggles. He promised himself that he would change their stories one day. But how? The village had no opportunities, and he did not want to become a farmer like his father. He wanted something bigger. One evening, his father received a message from his brother in Lagos, Chief Obinna. He was a successful businessman, well known in the city. He had shop filled with goods and many apprentices working under him. Chief Obinna had heard about Uche's hard-working nature and wanted to take him to Lagos to teach him trade. It was a great opportunity, but the decision was not easy for Uche's parents. They had never been away from their son, and the thought of him living in a big city, far from home, scared them. But deep down, they knew it was the best decision for his future. The night before Uche left, his mother sat beside him on the wooden bed they share. She placed her hand on his head, staring at him with eyes full of love and worry. "Uche, my son, be a good boy," she said, with tears in her eyes as she packed his small bag. "Respect your uncle, work hard, and never forget where you come from." His father, a quiet but strong man, stood by the door. "Listen to your uncle and work hard," he said, placing a firm hand on his son's shoulder. "One day, you will make us proud." Uche swallowed hard the lumps in his throat and nodded. "I will not disappoint you, Papa, Mama," he promised. The next morning, Uche boarded a bus with his uncle, leaving behind everything he had ever known. As the bus drove away, he looked out the window, watching his parents wave until they disappeared from sight. He felt a deep sadness, but also a burning determination. He had a chance to change his life, and he was not going to waste it. When he arrived in Lagos, he was amazed. The city was noisy and crowded, with tall buildings, busy streets, and bright lights everywhere. It was nothing like a quiet village he had left behind. His uncle, Chief Obinna, welcomed him warmly. "Uche, you are now in Lagos. Here, people work hard to survive. If you are serious, you will make it." "Yes, uncle, I will work hard," Uche replied. But not everyone in the house was happy about his arrival. Madam Ego, his uncle's wife, barely spoke to him. She only gave him cold stares and sighed whenever she saw him. At first, Uche did not understand why she behaved that way. Had he done something wrong? But he quickly realized that she simply did not like him. She saw him as an extra burden in the house. Whenever he greeted her, she would mumble a reply and walk away. When it was time for meals, she would serve him very little food, sometimes even forgetting to give him meat. Uche ignored her attitude and focused on his work. He woke up before everyone else, swept the shop, arranged the items neatly on the shelf, and made sure everything was in order before customers arrived. During the day, he attended to customers with patience and respect, helping them to select what they needed. Some customers liked him because of his politeness, and they always came back to buy more. Others, especially the difficult ones, would argue over price and sometimes insult him. But Uche never lost his temper. He had learned to smile and remain calm no matter what. Sometimes his uncle would send him to deliver goods to customers' house. He would carry heavy bags of rice, cartons of milk, or bottles of oil on his head. Walking long distance under the hot sun, his legs ached, his back hurt. But he never complained. He knew that every task was teaching him something important about the business. Madam Ego, his uncle's wife, still treated him coldly. She would sometimes give him the smallest portion of food and complain that he was eating too much. If he made a small mistake, she would scorn him loudly, an ungrateful village boy. Uche swallowed all the insults and remained silent. He had come to Lagos for a reason, and he would not let anything distract him. His uncle, Chief Obina, watched him closely. He noticed Uche's dedication, his honesty, and his willingness to learn. Unlike some apprentices who stole money or cheated customers, Uche was different. He handled money carefully, gave customers the right change, and never took what was not his. One evening, after they closed the shop, Chief Obina called him aside. He sat on a wooden bench in front of the shop, wiping his face with a handkerchief. "Uche," he said in a serious tone, "I need you to be a good boy. Keep working hard. When the time comes, I will reward you. I will establish your own business for you." Uche's heart pounded. He could not believe what he had just heard. Tears filled his eyes. "Thank you, uncle. I promise to work even harder," he said, his voice shaking with emotion. Years passed. Uche remained loyal, hardworking, and honest. He never changed. He never became lazy or arrogant, even when other apprentices came and left. Some ran away with money. Uche stayed. He knew his uncle's promises was not an empty one, and he was willing to wait. Finally, the day came. His uncle called him into his office and handed him a key. "Uche, this is for you," Chief Obina said. Uche took the key, confused. "Uncle, what is this?" "Your shop," his uncle said with a smile. "I have opened a big shop for you, fully stocked with goods. You are no longer an apprentice. You are now a businessman." Uche fell to his knees. "Thank you, uncle. Thank you so much. I will never disappoint you," he said, tears running down his face. He rushed to see the shop, and when he arrived, he could not believe his eyes. It was big, filled with different types of goods, bags of rice, cartons of noodles, beverage, and so much more. It was more than he had ever dreamed of. From that day, Uche's life changed. He was now his own boss, but he knew that success was not just about having a shop. It was about working hard and making the right choices. He had come a long way, but his journey was far from over. With time, Uche's business grew beyond his expectations. He expanded his shop, brought more goods, and even hired 2 boys to help him. Customers respected him because of his honesty, and traders in the market trusted him. He was no longer the struggling village boy who came to Lagos with nothing. He was now a successful businessman. With his growing wealth, he made sure his parents no longer suffer. Every month, he sent them money, making sure they had enough food and anything else they needed. He also built a new house for them in the village, replacing the old mud house they had lived in for years. Each time he visited, the joy in their eyes made all his struggles worth it. Despite all the success, Uche felt something was missing. He needed a wife. He was now a man, and it was time to start a family. He had seen many city girls, but he believed village girls were more respectful, well behaved, and better for marriage. So one Saturday morning, he dressed in his finest clothes, sprayed himself with expensive perfume, and drove to his village in one of his beautiful cars. When he arrived, people stared at him in admiration. The young boys whispered to each other, "See Uche, he has made it." The women in the market watched him closer, hoping he would notice their daughters. As he drove through the market square, his eyes caught something, or rather someone. A beautiful young woman was walking home with a basket balanced gracefully on her head. She was tall, fair-skinned, and had a charming smile that could melt any heart. The way she walked with confidence and elegance made her stand out from the crowd. Without thinking twice, Uche stopped his car beside her and rolled down the window. "Hi, beautiful lady," he called out, flashing his best smile. "What are you doing under this hot sun? Let me give you a lift." The young woman stopped and looked at him, then at the car. She recognized Uche immediately. Everybody in the village knew about the boy, who went to Lagos and became a rich businessman. She smiled and said to herself, "Who no like better thing?" Without hesitation, she opened the door and entered. The interior was unlike anything she had ever seen. Smooth leather seats, a fine dashboard, and the cold air conditioning blowing gently on her face. It felt like heaven compared to the hot sun outside. "My name is Uche," he said as he started driving. "And you?" "Ada," she replied softly, adjusting her basket on her lap. "Ada," Uche replied, nodding. Beautiful name for a beautiful lady. "So where are you heading?" "I am going home. My house is not far from here." "Good, then let me take you there," Uche said smoothly. They talked during the ride, laughing and getting to know each other. Uche found Ada easy to talk to. She was polite, soft-spoken, and had a way of smiling that made his heart race. She asked him about Lagos, his business, and his life, and he eagerly answered, enjoying the attention. Before they reached her house, Uche decided he could not let her go just like that. He pulled out his phone and said, "Ada, I really enjoyed talking to you. Can I have your number? I would love to see you again." Ada hesitated for a moment, but then smiled. "All right," she said, giving him her number. "Thank you, I will call you," Uche promised. Ada stepped out of the car gracefully. "Thank you for the ride," she said sweetly. Uche watched as she walked towards the house. His heart filled with excitement. He had found the woman of his dreams. She was everything he wanted: beautiful, respectful, and from a good family. As he drove away, he could not stop smiling. But what Uche did not know was that Ada had a dark past. Ada had just completed her NYSC before returning to the village. During her university days and service year, she had lived a wild life. She had dated different men, both young and old, always looking for the ones who would spoil her with money and luxury. Expensive hotels, nightclubs, and secret parties had been her playground. She had moved from one relationship to another, enjoying the gifts, attention, and money that men showered on her. She had even been involved with married men, never thinking about the consequences of her actions. To Ada, life was about enjoyment, and she had lived it to the fullest. But when NYSC ended, reality hit her. The money stopped flowing and the men disappeared. She realized that she could not continue living that way. She had no stable job, no real future in the city. So she returned to the village, hoping to start afresh and find a responsible man to settle down with. No one in the village knew about her past, not even her parents. To them, she was their innocent daughter who had gone to school and returned home as a well-mannered young woman. That evening, Uche could not keep his excitement to himself. As soon as he got home, he sat down with his parents. His mother noticed his bright face and laughed. "Uche, what is making you smile like this?" "Papa, Mama," Uche began, clearing his throat, "I have seen the woman I want to marry." His father sat up. "Who is she?" "She is from our village, Ada, the daughter of Mazi Okeke," Uche said proudly. His mother clapped her hands in joy. "Ah, Mazi Okeke daughter. That is good news. Their family is respected in this village. They are good people." His father nodded in agreement. Yes, Mazi Okeke is a good man of integrity. If his daughter is anything like him, then you have made a good choice. Uche smiled. "I will visit them tomorrow and make my intentions known." His parents were overjoyed, already imagining the traditional marriage ceremony and the grandchildren that would follow. But none of them knew that Uche's dream woman was hiding a past that could destroy everything. The next day, Uche family dressed in their best attire and set out to visit Mazi Okeke's house. It was a day of joy and excitement. His parents had already started telling their relatives and neighbors that their son had found a good wife. When they arrived, they were warmly received. Mazi Okeke, a proud and well-respected man, was delighted by the proposal. "Uche is a fine young man," he said, smiling. "Hard-working, responsible, and from a good family. What more could I ask for?" His wife, Mama Ada, nodded in agreement. "We have already prayed for a good husband for our daughter. Uche, we welcome you into our family." The families talked for hours, discussing the marriage arrangement, the bride price, and the wedding date. After much laughter and celebration, they agreed on everything. Uche was overjoyed. His dream was finally coming true. The wedding preparation began immediately. The news spread across the village, and everyone looked forward to the big day. Ada, now the center of attention, played her role well. She behaved like the perfect bride to be, humble, respectful, and full of smiles. On the wedding day, the celebration was grand. Friends, relatives, and villagers gathered to witness the union. The hall was beautifully decorated with music, food, and drinks flowing freely. Uche looked handsome in his traditional attire, while Ada looked stunning in her bridal outfits. As they danced and exchanged vows, Uche's heart swelled with happiness. He believed he had found the perfect wife, the woman who would stand by him forever. After the wedding, he took Ada back to Lagos. His love for her knew no bound. He spoiled her with gifts, expensive jewelries, designer clothes. the latest phones, and anything she wanted. He even hired a maid to ensure she did not stress herself with work chores. To Uche, he was building a happy home. But what he did not know was that Ada had not changed. Each time Uche traveled for business, Ada saw it as an opportunity. She started sneaking out, returning to her old ways. She reconnected with some of her past lovers, meeting them in hotels and expensive restaurants. She was smart about it. She made sure to act like a loving wife whenever Uche was around. She cooked his favorite meals, welcomed him home with warm hug, and pretended to be the devoted wife everyone believed her to be. But Fat had his way of revealing secrets. One fateful day, Uche's business partner, Emeka, called him. "Uche, I will be in Lagos tomorrow. I must visit you and your wife." Uche was excited. "Ah, Emeka, you are always welcome. My wife will cook a special meal for you." The next afternoon, Emeka arrived. Uche welcomed him warmly, leading him into the beautiful furnished living room. They laughed and talked about business. After some time, Uche smiled and said, "Let me introduce you to my wife." He turned towards the stairs and called, "Ada, my friend is here. Come and greet him." Footsteps echoed in the hallway. As Ada stepped into the living room, her eyes met Emeka, and she froze. Panic filled her face as her heart pounded wildly in her chest. She had not expected to see him, at least not like this. For a brief moment, she hoped Emeka would pretend not to know her. Maybe he would keep quiet, and everything would be fine. But the look on his face told her otherwise. Without thinking twice, she quickly turned around and ran inside, almost tripping over her own feet. Uche was shocked, his forehead creased with confusion. As he turned to Emeka, "What is going on here?" he asked, his voice sharp with worry. Emeka sighed heavily and shook his head, as if trying to make sense of what just happened. Then he looked Uche straight in the eyes and asked, "Uche, is that your wife?" "Yes," Uche answered firmly. Still confused, "That is my wife, Ada. Why are you asking?" Emeka let out a slow breath and rubbed his forehead. "Uche," he said carefully, "that was the same lady we spent time with yesterday." Uche blinked, not understanding. "What do you mean?" Emeka hesitated. He could see the disbelief in his friend's eyes. "Uche, listen to me," he continued. "I arrived in Lagos yesterday. My guys took me out to a lodge, and later we went to a hotel. That same woman, your wife, she was there with us." Uche let out a short laugh, shaking his head. "No, it's not possible," he said. "Maybe she just looked like her. Ada was at home. She told me she was not feeling well. She could not have been with you." Emeka reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. "I wish I was lying, Uche," he said. "But see for yourself." With shaking hands, Emeka opened his WhatsApp message and scrolled to a chat. He showed Uche the message exchange between him and Ada. Uche's eyes widened as he read the text. "Babe, I had a great time tonight. Thank you for the money. You are so sweet. I cannot wait to see you again." His heart pounded as he scrolled further. Emeka showed him the proof of payment. The money he had sent to Ada. It was her account number, her name. There was no mistake. Uche's hands trembled as he held the phone. His head spun and his vision blurred. He could hear his own heartbeat loud and fast, like a drum in his ears. Reality hit him hard, like a blow to the chest. His perfect wife, the woman he had loved and trusted, the woman he had introduced to his parents with pride. She had betrayed him in the worst way possible. His legs felt weak. He dropped to the floor, holding his head with both hands. Emeka placed a hand on his shoulder. "I am sorry, my brother," he said softly. "I did not know she was your wife. If I had known, I would have never." Uche did not hear the rest of his words. His mind was drawing in pain, anger and confusion. From inside the house, Ada stood behind the door, listening. Her heart pounded with fear. She knew she had been caught. The secret she had tried so hard to hide was now out in the open, and there was no escaping the consequences. Thanks guys for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel to support us, like, share, and do not forget to tell us the country or the cities you are watching from. Thank you guys, we love you all.